Hey, welcome everybody. We are excited to have you here on this show. We are going to talk about video creation in the piano studio and why it's important. And we want to start off with teachers' input. Like, why is video important to you? Valerie, could you jump in and just tell us a little bit what you think?
Well, it's a game changer for one. It's a way to not just go stagnant with verbiage. Um, I think it's a good way to interact. A lot of the attention span of most people is not really to read anymore, pretty much, and that's sad. But I think the interaction with videos is a game changer.
What type of video are you thinking of? Are you thinking this is like a tutorial, how you show students how to do something, or is this a video of your students' performance?
Well, streaming and also for performance, I did two recitals. This is my second Zoom recital. So I think this was a great opportunity to get my students interacting and then also see that they're not alone. And they were able to see other students that they were able, to actually learn. And then they sat with a live watch party and I introduced them live, but then virtually I took their piece there that they recorded and then streamed it as they were introduced. So it was really neat. So it's a really good thing to be able to infiltrate your classes, to really teach. You teach during with the classes and then, with your recitals.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other input real quick? What you discovered the importance of video is in the new world?
I haven't used it, but I've seen it used with duets so that your student can practice using the video at home and then be ready at the lesson with the duet.
Yeah, definitely. People learn songs off of YouTube all the time now. So that's a good one. Joel, you've been into teaching for a long time and video now for some time. What are your thoughts on, is this the future? Is it an untapped reservoir that we just have not broken into its full potential?
I think from a teaching standpoint, yeah, there's so many ways that you can use video these days, and it can be a very powerful way of learning. And I think one of there's several reasons I think it's a really good idea. One of those being that, if we look at the modern student today, they have an awful lot of distractions these days that, maybe some of us, didn't have when we were growing up as much. They've got Netflix and video games and just all the extra on top of school sports, anything that's involved there. And we're trying to, in an already very busy schedule, carve out some time for learning the piano as well. And it's kind of one of the challenges of the students having so many opportunities, which is a good thing that they have lots of opportunities, but I think sometimes it spreads the students out so much that they don't know where to focus their energy sometimes. And so what I think that requires then is that we as teachers need to be as efficient as possible and as engaging as possible. And it's a difficult balance to hold, to be really efficient and engaging, but at the same time, they kind of go hand in hand as well. I mean, if a student feels like they're learning quickly and there's that learning momentum, then they're going to be more engaged with what they're doing. It's really when they feel like they're not progressing, not moving forward, that they'll start to lose their interest. And there's a million other things that could capture their interest besides piano. So we have to really, think about it. I think the days of just being a teacher where you can just give students information and say, okay, here you go practice it. I think those days are really pretty much gone. Nowadays, it's teachers need to be able to motivate and engage them and reach them, where they are, which is on electronics, on the web, on their smartphones, on their iPads, right? So this is one of the reasons why I think video is such a big, important piece of, and understanding the technology side of teaching is very important.
Yeah. And now I've seen a lot of really good videos, videos that I thought, wow, they did something I've never seen before to teach a concept that I've never seen. And it's given me ideas, and I've been able to build on top of those ideas and try new things. And so I hope that you guys come out of this with a desire to try new things and to experiment. Joel, you're absolutely right. We're teaching in a new world, and these students don't learn the same as they used to, and they're not as motivated by things. Their attention span has actually changed due to how quickly the television's been, programming their brains to like swap topics so quickly. So it certainly is a challenge for us to cross this bridge, but we'll do it together. Happy to be here and to help you guys learn how to do some of these tricks. Really quickly, I'm going to split you into groups of 6, and I want you to introduce yourselves to one another. There may be some people who are actually just kind of chiming in from classes, and so they're on mute or they can't show their video. So just kind of skip over them if they're not able to share their audio or their video. You guys ready to go into your groups? And we'll have like 3-4 minutes where you just get to meet people, get their names, and find out why they are here. What do they want to learn? You got 4 minutes. Are you ready? All right, I'm opening the rooms. Go ahead and click on your room, and we'll see you guys in 4 minutes. Kathleen, are you there? Okay, let's go eavesdrop.
From them, I get to visit. Oh,
Right.
there's Aaron.
Okay.
You guys have a small group.
Yeah, I've seen Evelyn's name on different things, and she's in Lakewood, and I'm in Pueblo, Evelyn. So,
Oh, I thought your name looked familiar. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
yeah. So I am redoing. I'm very, very jealous about your bookcases and the music you have organized there, because I am taking everything out of my bookcases and trying to figure out what I'm keeping in the piano room. And so right now I can't even walk across the floor there.
Oh, I've done that before.
So did you guys get a chance to discuss why you're here?
Well, I'm here to, I'm thinking of doing some video lessons in the future. But my experience with Zoom was really horrible when we did a Zoom recital in May. The sound quality was terrible. The softs, I could not hear from the students at all. One student's piano, especially, I don't know if her mic or whatever, it did not pick up anything almost, and it was really hard to hear anything. And she was playing a nocturne by Gillick, which required you to hear things really soft. And then in the middle of the Zoom recital, our electricity went out, our Comcast went out, and it was gone for 15 hours. And so some other student took over and had some other students play still, and they continued the process. But I and 4 others were completely out of the picture.
I hear you, and I agree with you 1000% that video is 10 times better than trying to do a recital over Zoom. Yeah, putting together a video is going to be clean. It's not quite like a live recital, but it has its purposes too.
Yeah. And
There is a lot that is going to happen for us. We have been forced into a new world, and I think it's exciting. I think that using videos for preparing tutorials for students, we can get into more detail in certain ways if we prepare a teaching video. So teaching videos, I think, are really dynamic, in my opinion, and definitely to put on a recital with pre-recorded videos is going to ensure that and as we teach our students how to create good videos, we'll eliminate some of those problems with sound. And we'll be able to, we'll just eliminate a lot of problems. I think another thing we need to do is have more tutorials, Erin, on how to use Zoom and Skype. But,
Yeah.
and that's something, if you would put on something like that and charge for it, I'd be there. I think that's another thing that our teachers are lacking is knowledge on how to use the video and Skype in order to present their recitals.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm going to close all rooms and we'll see you guys back in the main room.
you can see my messy kitchen.
No, that's perfect. We like to see it. Leave your video on.
Okay.
I shouldn't be in the main session. I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
Oh, that's fine. We're all coming back.
Hello, Aaron.
Hey, David, we are coming back and we'll discuss kind of some of the things that you heard that the teachers are like the reasons they're here and what they want to learn.
Hey, Aaron.
I'm not sure if it looks like the videos haven't finished. Oh wait, here they come. It looks like we got half of you back already. And here come the rest. Okay,
right.
I think I set it to 60 seconds to end, and so everybody should have ended by now. Really quickly, I heard an amazing comment that I think is very valid from Elizabeth Zawodowski. She said that she put on a Zoom recital and she was very disappointed with the audio and how it sounded. It wasn't a fulfilling concert and there were just some problems with it. And so she was thinking maybe doing videos where they could pre-record them, you'd have a much higher quality and be able to have a better experience with the recital, even if it's not a live situation. And then I heard from Evelyn Bilberg, and she said that video tutorials, like creating piano tutorials, is something that we need to do more of. So I'll agree with both of those. Michelle, in your group, did anyone else bring up something different?
Sorry, I was having audio issues, so I left in the middle of it. So I didn't really get to talk to anybody. So
Okay, who else had some comments that are a little different than I had discussed so far?
Well, oh, sorry, go ahead, Bonnie.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm entranced with the blurred background. I think that'd be fabulous to have, even while teaching. How do you do that? You know?
Actually,
Yeah, so you don't show your
Cool
kitchen.
stuff like that.
actually right now for me, because I'm in my messy kitchen,
So, this is, I mean, it's a small thing, but it's in your video settings. You just click
Okay.
on the video button at the bottom and say video settings and click blur the background. And then your background will be blurred. You can see my background is nice and clean. With
Love the
my
studio.
with my great studio in the background. This is actually a green screen and it's just a picture behind me. But some people think it's like a real studio behind me because it's actually pretty good when you use a green screen. We'll be getting into some green screen stuff later on because especially when it comes to some more tricky video performances that you want to put on. Like if your kid wants to play in outer space, I'll show you some things that could give you some ideas. Or if you're doing a video tutorial and you want to show your face, but you want to be like a newscaster pointing at notes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it
Cool.
works really cool for video tutorials. We'll show you a bit of that as we get into the advanced videos. Of course, we're all piano teachers, so you guys have a huge advantage over just the average person coming to learn how to do video. And I'll tell you why you have an advantage. You have students who come to you and you don't give them Rachmaninoff when they're 6 years old on their first day of lessons. You have learned to give students appropriate music that build their skills at an appropriate pace. And so we, in this conference, we're smart enough not to give you Rachmaninoff. We're not going to jump in and start doing some insanely difficult recording stuff. We've taken Joel, I've been working with Joel for a number of years now, and we've taken the recording to new heights, 100 feet in the air. We performed a concert and dropped a piano off of a cliff. We had eight different video cameras running on that. We used 2 drones. By the way, for those of you who are worried about that piano, the piano was supposed to be burned because it had reached its life. It was really bad. And so we found a better use for it. We can make the piano live on. But we'll show you some really cool things that you can do for your students as we get into the more difficult things. But we want to start first with super simple things. We've spent an enormous amount of money on equipment. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. You can do some really, really good things for very inexpensive things. And I highly recommend starting small with the small videos and doing a lot of them. Another reason you guys have an advantage is because you know that doing lots, you don't give a student one song to work on all year because then they'll learn that one song only. You give them a bunch of things and they can learn little aspects of musicality in even smaller pieces. So we're going to start with doing lots of videos. As you start doing this, you will want to put as many videos on the web as you can and produce as much as you can, simply for practice. And don't get caught in the mindset that you just did a bad video. It's not worthy of putting online. I've done so many bad videos. In fact, I look back at my videos I did 10 years ago that I was super proud of. And I'm embarrassed. I'm like, I can't believe I was so proud of that thing because I've grown. But don't worry about putting a bad video on. It's like not doing a recital until you have the song perfected. Sometimes you just have to get out, play the song, get the experience, get another song, move on to the new song and get another song and then get a harder song. And then you grow. And so that's why I'm kind of excited to teach you guys in this group because you're piano instructors and you know how to do it. So let's talk really quickly about this first video week. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you the agenda because this is where you're going to live. Over here, if I share my screen, let me know if you're seeing my screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so you got an email and I'm going to open the email. I think I sent myself one of the emails. Here we go. The starting in 5 minutes is one of them. It shows the Zoom link, but there's an agenda link on everything I've sent you. If you click on the agenda, there are some really, really good things in here. I'm just going to quickly scan through it before we start to show you what's here. I've got 3 tips, things to do. And then we talk about the easy improve your lighting, add some motion to your videos. We go into intermediate where we do syncing digital audio. We add some video effects, and we do a lesson tutorial, and we'll do those with you guys as you go along. The advanced ones, this is where we get into multiple video angles where you cut into different scenes. We're going to add some green screen and then do a lesson tutorial here in the advanced one as well. For your resources, we have added, this is just the next 9-week course and what we're going to be discussing each of the weeks. And then over here is an outlet for you guys. This is a free place where you guys can have your students put their works. It was actually a competition that we started about 12 years ago, and it's been really, really good. Last year was the first year that we were able to offer it for free, and so we're excited to continue that this year. I'm also looking for other venues. So if anybody knows of a venue where we can put our student videos up, then I would love for you guys to let me know, and I'll add those to our list so everybody has that resource. Some of the software that you can use, people are going to ask, like, what's the best software for me? It really depends for video editing, what you want to do. So I'm not going to have you jump in and grab any software yet, because we want to show you what is the strengths and weaknesses of some of these software. And they're good. Some of them are good for Windows and Mac, and some of them are just good for Mac only. Some of them are free and they're limited what they can do. Some of them are good for green screen. Some of them are really good for teachers who, I like Camtasia for that. It's kind of a dummy software. You don't have to know a lot of video editing, and it can make you look really good with minimal effort and knowledge. We also brought Joel in as we get into some of this Final Cut and some of these other software, and Josh Mills, Michelle Robinson, they've done some really good video editing. And so we're going to have them demo how to use different software. Video screen editing. So when you get ready to do your video tutorials, this will save you a ton of effort in like a student follow along to a score where you can upload your own musical scores, and then the computer will follow you along as you play. Home Concert Extreme is a good one. The useful equipment, we've got some green screen things that I've tested out and tried for you, and I highly recommend. Some lighting and some microphones to improve the audio, and this little doohickey here, which is a lifesaver. I use that all the time. Over here at the bottom, we have the submit your videos for peer review. So this is your assignment this week, is you're going to create a very simple video of a performance of somebody playing. It could be one of your students, or it could be you performing something. And then you're going to submit it into this form. And so all you have to do is you type in your name, you paste your video link from YouTube or wherever you put it right here. And then you select the category, whether it's a solo performance or it's an ensemble performance or it's a tutorial or a marketing video that you put together. And then the video difficulty, whether this is like just simple shoot from your iPhone camera or your Android camera, and then upload to YouTube and share, or whether it was intermediate and you did some more tricky things with it. We'd like to see, like, some of you have already done the easy stuff and you're ready to move on. You don't have to wait until we get to the harder things to start putting out better videos. Go ahead and start just putting up the best videos you want to put up. And then you click submit. And then once you do, let me just show you what happens here. This is not a video link.
In your email, Aaron?
No, this is in the, I told you we're going to live in this this doc here. It's the agenda.
Oh, the agenda. Okay.
So in the agenda at the very bottom.
Yeah, so there's
I
a
have
link
that.
to that agenda in that email you got, and then you just open the agenda and then you'll have access to all of this.
So once you submit this in the form, it'll say view shared videos. And so you can start looking at some of your peers' videos as soon as they start coming in today. I'm sure people will start doing it today. Josh Mills, you'll put one on there today of a performance you do? Yes? Okay, we'll see if we can get Josh to do it. You can submit another one. If I want to see, right now it's going to direct me to this, and this is just a fake one, so I'll just have to go in and delete this later, but this is what it'll look like, and you'll see the teacher's name, their video link, and then the category and the difficulty level, so you can kind of peruse at your leisure what videos people are putting in. Do not be afraid to put up videos of poor quality, where this is where we learn. You put something up, we look at the video, and we'll discuss challenge you had with lighting or with sound and how to solve those problems. So that is where we are. And I think that's probably a good spot to end for the day and let everybody get started on working on your very first video, taking your smartphone and just record a video. There are probably going to be some people who don't know how to do that first step. How do you take and do a very simple video? We can run through that right now. Shall we go ahead and do a sample of what that looks like?
Yes.
Yes.
People want to see how fast and easy it is to put up a video on YouTube and share the link?
Yeah, also, Aaron, I'm used to doing videos on my iPad.
Perfect.
I don't know how to take a link, though. I usually just share it to Facebook. I don't know how to take a link and share
How
it
to
to
share
them.
it to different places. I can show you how to do that.
Okay.
And we'll do that right now. Raise your hand if you want to see we'll do a live performance of a video and upload it right now.
How do you get the link? Is the link on YouTube?
You will have to upload your video to YouTube or somewhere else. We're going to use YouTube
There,
because it's
it's
free.
there.
And then we're going to show you how to take that link from YouTube and share it into the form. I will also say, if you get stuck with anything, I always go to YouTube and I ask YouTube how to do it. And somebody has created a really good video on how to do something. So that's one of your best resources. So I'm going to need an assistant. Heidi, would you join me on the stage and help me do this recording for them? Let's do, I could flip my camera around and let you guys watch from the side. See if I can do this. So you know what I'm gonna have to do is take my green screen thing off real fast. Okay, my background is about to turn to green. Choose a virtual background. None on my virtual background. So you guys see that I just have my green screen behind me, and I'll show you around the stage really quickly. I'm gonna unplug. Hopefully we don't die here. Everybody still see me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So could you grab that little rolly cart so I can put it over here and let them watch how we do this? Okay, so this is what I'm working with right now. I just have my grand piano on the stage. I'm gonna shoot it, probably if I shoot at this angle, I'm gonna get green screen. So I'd have to cover my green screen wall before I did that. So I think I'll probably just aim my camera in this direction, probably at my fingers. And you can do one of two things. You can either take and hold your camera steady and still. Yeah. Or you can have somebody, you add some motion to it. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see a steady shot? If I do a steady shot, I use a table or something, and I'll take my phone and I will just put it on here. So it's like if I'm doing it by myself, and then I'll start the video and then I'll come over here to the piano and play, then come back to the video and stop it, and then share it to YouTube.
So
But
that's just a microphone stand, right, Aaron, that you're showing them there? It's just a
yeah,
simple mic.
it's just a microphone stand with a little mic clip on here. It holds the phone really nicely. I just had to put some tape on here so it doesn't slip, but it's really a great
You can
great
get
thing because
something
you
like
can use it
that
for.
at like Guitar Center or most.
It's on the
music
dock.
Yeah, yeah, you got linked on the dock.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a link on the dock. Any equipment that you're gonna need, I'll just keep adding to that. Like if somebody wants to know where do I get a gimbal so I can have smoother shots. We've tested out several gimbals, and we'll put a link to that in the dock as people request.
I think too, I just want to note, like, don't be intimidated by all this stuff Aaron's showing you right here. This is, if you're wanting to just do very simple videos, you don't have to do, go super deep into it. It just depends on what level of video you want to get into. And what we're hoping to cover is everything from very simple and easy to more advanced. So anyway, I think it's important to get.
And we're gonna do it as simple as possible right now. Just a quick shoot and upload straight to YouTube. No editing whatsoever.
Okay.
Are we ready? I think what I'll do is a 30-second song. Just do a real quick student piece for you guys to keep it simple. Let me put this over here. Watch us work. I just have to find the right angle. And we'll do it with another person. So Heidi, would you be my camera person? And just so you can see, I just left the meeting, but I am going to just open my camera. If you don't know how to do this much, you're just going to have to figure that out on YouTube. Most people know how to open their phones. So there's my photo. I'm actually going to go to, where's the video? That must be my video. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to close
So
all
he's
that.
just going to take a basic video on his
There
cell
it is.
phone.
Okay, so there's my video. It's ready to record. So all Heidi has to do is hit that record button. And I am actually going to have her do a little more of a movement thing because I want you guys to see what it looks like if she's shooting like this. And so she can get down on my fingers, kind of back up and see my face. And I already noticed something on the keyboard. I had a marker. Remove that, clean your piano, make it look nice. Make sure your hair is done. Make sure you put your bench in its right spot. Okay, tell me when you're ready. Go. Okay, so at this point, you guys want to see how I take the video and how do we put it onto, let me go back over here to my green screen where I have some good lighting.
Aaron, would you be able to share your screen from the phone so we can see that?
I actually can, yes.
I think that would be easier for us to see. Now you're using an iPhone, I believe, right?
Yeah, I use both an iPhone and an Android, so I know how to do both. So in this one, let's see, make sure Heidi got my video. Okay, I did get a video. So now what you want me to do is you want me to share this screen so you guys can see it up close. Let's do that. So I've got to join the Zoom call from my phone. And if I can find it. There it is. Join Zoom. And I'll have to, let's see, no audio here. I will go into the video and share my video and start sharing my camera screen and start broadcasting. There it is.
So he's just, yeah, doing this in Zoom so that we can see what he's doing on his phone.
Joel, are you guys able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is perfect. So now, let's see, I need to go back into my videos. So here is my video. I'm going to turn it sideways. Now I can edit this, but I don't want to edit. What I want to do right now is I just want to upload it to YouTube and get the link. So how hard is that? Well, there's a share button, whether you're on Android or you can see that at the top center. It looks like a little arrow sticking out of a box. That's your share button. So if you click on that, it'll ask which video you want to share and you select it and then you click next on the top right corner. And then once you get to this point, it'll ask you how you want to share it. So I can share it via any of these ways up here. This is texts in my contacts. So it's smart enough to know like who's the last person you shared stuff with or you texted or Skype. You can send it to Skype. You can send it to Messenger. You can send it to Marco Polo or Drive. A lot of times I'll send it to Drive directly. There is also another way you can send it. If you have the YouTube app downloaded on your phone, you can send it to YouTube. I can't find that one. If you have that, that's easy. But I'm going to show you how to do it to Drive. If you don't have Drive, you want to put that on your phone. The YouTube one's really easy. It'll walk you through how to do it. It's preparing the video now. And so now I can rename this video if you just click on it and you want to just make another name. So I'll just call this Tarantella. And I could say by Aaron Garner. And from here, I click upload. So this will take, oh, it doesn't take that long. This is all wireless.
If you have a good internet connection, it'll go faster. Might take a little longer if it's a slow connection.
Where are you
Does anybody have-
uploading it now? You're uploading it to YouTube or the screen?
Well, I'm uploading this one to Drive right now. You guys want to see what it, like try to do it straight to YouTube instead of going to Drive first?
All right, no, that's fine.
I could try that.
Yes, I think you should do that. It's the
Okay.
easiest way for people. So
So if you don't see YouTube, like I do have YouTube on this thing. Let me open up the YouTube app and see I'm logged into YouTube. There's probably a little message. Does anybody know how to add a video?
If you click on your picture, I believe, that's your account, and then you go to your channel, and then you can go from there, I think, to upload,
Okay, let's try
I
that.
believe.
There's
Video,
a video screen.
Right here.
Oh, there's a plus at the very bottom. Do you guys see that plus?
yes.
So let's try that one and then upload a video.
Mhm.
So that's even easier than going to Drive.
Right.
Allow access, select photos. I'll just say select the photo. And I want this last video I did right here and say done.
Mhm.
And was it successful or was it not? Yeah, Josh is telling you there's multiple ways to do this step.
Can you play it or? Oh, I see.
Go.
Oh,
Okay.
there's a next button. Let's see what the next one's. Okay, so the next is asking me if I want to create a title. And this one, I'm just going to put Tarantella by Aaron Garner. And add a description. I'll say this was fun. Or whatever you want to put on that. You don't even have to add one. You can make it public from here, or you can make it unlisted or private. We, of course, want it public so that people can actually see it. I believe if you do it private, let's say, or unlisted, let's say you want to do it, but you don't want everybody on your YouTube channel to see it, but you do want to put the link in there so the rest of the class can see your video, then you just mark it as unlisted. So I'm going to do mine as unlisted, so you guys can see that when we put it in. You can set it as premiere or some other things. You can schedule it. I'm just going to publish it now, I guess. That's set visibility. You can add to playlist, which we're not going to do yet. And I'll hit next. And then you have to say, no, it's not made for kids if you want people to be able to comment on it. If you put, yes, it is made for kids, nobody can comment on your video. I'm going to choose, no, it's not made for kids. Uploading to your videos. And at this point, now that I've got it uploaded, how do I find the, oh, I can see the video. I can click on this little thing and I can share the video. If I share it, it's going to ask me, how do you want to share it? And I'll just copy the link. So you can see I copied the link. Now I'm going to go back to the form. So if you go into the agenda, at the very bottom, you remember there's a form. And you can say submit your video on the form.
Recording in progress.
We'll click on that, open it. Now I would normally do this from my computer at this point because I prefer working on a computer, but just for the sake of people who would prefer doing it on the phone, I'm doing everything here on the phone. So there's my name as the submitter. And the video link, I hit this, hold it down, and paste.
How'd you paste it? Just forget it?
What was the question?
How did you paste it? Did you control, or how did you paste this on the
So
iPhone?
back on the other screen, when I'm recording this, you can actually go back and watch the process, but I clicked on the share button, and the share button gave me an option to copy the link. And so I just clicked on the copy. So now when I put paste, it pasted what I had already copied from back then. And this is a solo performance. It was a very easy one, and not of the performance was easy, but the video editing of it was really easy. And I clicked submit. Okay, so now at this point, when you go into the doc, you can see everybody else's videos, see if anybody's done any. Oh, there was my fake one. And you can click, anybody can click on your video and click watch and see how well you did. And then it takes you right to the YouTube video. So now you can share that video. I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen and we can have a quick answer session. Do I kill the broadcasting? Stop. Okay, and I'm actually gonna probably.
And if any of that seemed a little fast or anything fast paced, again, this is all recorded, so you can go back and watch it and kind of see step by step what he did. Now, this was just the process he was using for how you could do it on an iPhone. If you're using like an Android phone, the process would be a little bit different. But once you get into the YouTube app, I think it's basically the same process. But
That's very, very similar. with both of them. They've made it really easy to share. I remember 10 years ago doing this process, and it was way harder to get a video up onto YouTube. I figured it out, but I guess we didn't have smartphones, and we had to do it from video cameras and upload it to your computer. And so some of you guys remember VHS. You can still put those onto YouTube too, but it's a little tricky. Everything's so much easier. Even the cameras nowadays they're amazing. Even these $100 cameras are 10 times better than the $1,000 cameras that came out 20 years ago. So that is the basics of this. If some of you, this will be super easy for, because you've done it before. Go ahead and just do it again, because as you do these small steps, and repetition is going to make the next things we do so much easier. I would not skip this step and say, I already know how to do that. I would go ahead and just do it anyway, because it will help you. So does anybody have any questions about how to do this first week's assignment? Is just put a video up. Okay, next.
Hard copy of the, Aaron, do you have a hard copy of the steps, or is it just on the video?
It's just on the video. You can, the best place, if you don't know how to do that, or just watch this video again when I send you the link of this, or go to YouTube and say, how do you upload a video from your phone to YouTube? And somebody will walk you through it probably 10 times better than I did.
In our breakout session, Pat had a good question. She said she uses her camera. Is that correct, Pat?
Yeah, iPhone 11. Yeah.
Her iPhone. She said she's getting blurs. Is that what you said? You're getting
Static. I'm getting static.
static. That's what it was.
On your recordings, on your videos?
Yes.
On her phone, she said.
Yeah, when I transfer it, I hear it a little on the iPhone, but when I transfer it, I've gone through a lot trying to cut that out. And
It's possible you're talking about the microphone is like staticky, not the video.
Aaron?
well, when I take it, and there's little static on it.
On the audio, like when you hear it, or is it the video when you're
I
watching
hear
it?
it.
Okay,
Both on the camera and the computer. And what I did is I cut the sound down. Like instead of, I have a hybrid channel, and I put the volume down.
Pat, what I want you to do is do a video and upload it to the link, and then we can talk about your video next week and problem solve it.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Aaron?
So I have
Yes,
a
sir.
question.
I think that,
Let's go to David first. David, what's your question?
I think I was in that session. I think what the problem is she's recording and she's using an electric piano. So she's getting some kind of static, and she mentioned this herself in the
If you get too close to the piano.
It could be a noise loop cancellation thing, Aaron. That's kind of common when you connect to a piano. But we can troubleshoot that with Pat.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Spending hours with Apple on it. I just cut the volume and didn't play very aggressively. So.
I mean, this is why we're here. Is you're going to be shooting videos, and we're going to look at the video next week, and we're going to say, your lighting is terrible, your audio is terrible. Let's fix it. Let's give you a bunch of tricks. And so we're going to be doing a lot of just looking at videos and improving your videos, giving you ideas on what to do next time.
That's why this first assignment is so important, is because everybody's situation is unique. Your camera, what software you're using, all that is unique. And so there's no one answer to every video thing. I mean, we can give you general tips, but if you, I think Pat said, have an iPhone 11, some of the things I might recommend for you might be different for someone else that has a different phone with a different operating system, different lighting, different piano, and so forth. So
thank you, Joel. I feel relieved already.
Yeah, this is the nice thing about having a community where we can help each other. I've noticed that as teachers, we are not competing with each other. We're competing with soccer. we we actually help each other. The more students you can get, the more popular it makes piano in other friends' eyes. And so the more people that study, then the field just starts to grow. And so when you guys succeed, I succeed, and vice versa. When I inspire students to learn new music, it makes them seek out opportunities to learn the piano, and it makes it better for everybody, more opportunities to study. And especially like right now, we're facing this a crisis in like the university piano students dwindling. Not as many people are going into piano performance anymore, and it's causing a chain effect that's going to impact the lower level, like the grassroots teachers, those who teach in elementary school all the way through high school. So we all have to work together and kind of turn this around and make the piano a very desirable thing for students. And video is their world. It really is. So that's why we need to get into their world, and we need to incentivize these students to do stuff. I know I have some students, you guys want to see some of the performances that we've done with our students to get them excited? Or should we wait until next week? We've got about 5 minutes left.
Want to see him.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do some.
I think
All
Anne
right.
had a question. I think Anne had a
Ann,
question.
yeah, Ann, what was your question?
Thank you. Okay, your assignment says from your smartphone record a student. My only student that I have until school starts is online. So I just was wondering about that. And if I record myself, do I need to use the smartphone because I have other cameras already set up?
Use whatever you want.
Whatever.
Yeah, you
Okay,
you
you're not
can
being fussy.
you can use your $10,000 what's that camera, Joel, that that
No,
your
it's
mic up?
only a $5,000 DSLR. That's all.
Oh, there you go.
Use that. Yeah, if you've got an awesome camera and you've got that, yeah, show
Okay.
us your stuff. We want to
Okay.
show what things you guys are already able to do. You don't have to start at the simple principles. You don't have to do that. You can show off your stuff. We
Okay,
want to see it.
thanks.
Great question though. What are some really cool videos? Let me share my screen and also share my audio. And I'm going to go to a document down at the very, very bottom. Oh, I better share my audio. Hold on, share sound. So you guys can hear this. At the very bottom, there's some video project ideas. That's right underneath your form where you're submitting your videos. And in here, oops, I wanted to open that all the way. Okay, in here, you will see a series of different videos that I have put in here, and I will continue to put in some more links. This was, let's do this one. This was such a fun project for these 4 kids. These are high schoolers, and one of these boys had a crush on one of the girls, and so I said, hey, would you like to do a duet with them? And he's like, yeah. It was a kid that wasn't really interested in piano that much, but he was willing to do it to impress this girl. So I leveraged that.
Piano Marvel is the first
Alright.
piano learning and teaching app designed by piano teachers for piano.
So you can see we did some costumes here. We had a little unique setup here.
morning. This is David. Morning, Josh.
And I think that is about the end of the video. We wrap it up. This is, of course, you're gonna have to guess what camera we used on this. And there it is. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys, what questions did you have? We pulled.
I assume it was Mark Fisher.
Sorry, was that? I'm listening to a question. Okay.
Might have just been some noise.
Okay, it could have been some noise. Who has a question on how we pulled that off? Like, what are some things that you saw in there? You're like, how did you do that? What did you hear? What did you see?
Accompaniment, did you make a separate, you did the accompaniment, right?
So what did you hear in the accompaniment that was different?
Well, you made the background music, I mean, with a saxophone and so on.
Okay, you heard a saxophone. Who else? What else did you guys hear?
Melodica.
A harmonica. It was actually a melodica.
Melodica, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Also
melodica.
heard a bike horn of some sort.
There was a bike horn, yes. Very good.
Clarinet.
What else? A what?
Clarinet.
Not a clarinet.
No.
There was a trumpet.
Trumpet, yeah.
Yeah. So Joel, he recorded the saxophone part because he's a saxophone major, and we had the kids. All these kids were in a band at the high school, and so their band instructor was a trumpet player, and so they asked him if he would come over and record the trumpet part, which he said I'd be happy to, and he was happy to participate in a video, and he shared that with all of his friends. And so it was kind of cool. They got more views because the trumpet player wanted to share it with his friends, and all the 4 kids wanted to share with their friends, and their parents wanted it to be shared. And so I got all these parents from these students saying, let's do another video. Like, these kids will never forget this experience. It is something that inspires them, and it inspires their friends and their parents. So like, I want my next siblings to be able to do stuff like this. There's so much value to creating really fun videos. Project-based learning is amazing what it can do. Did you guys see the different camera angles?
I was just about to ask that. How many cameras did you have for the angles?
We had one on the ceiling that shot the above shot. We had, I think, Joel, you were running one of the cameras on a GoPro.
So I think one of the cameras we used on that one was a GoPro, which I will say, just as a little plug on that, the newer GoPros, by the way, you can really get some interesting video placement and very smooth video too, if you want to move them around as the video is going on. So you'll notice like a lot of the shots had some motion to them where the camera was moving as the recording went on. So for a less expensive option, that can also be really, really nice. So we had that. We also, of course, had a drone for some of the very high shots when we went outside, and we used that. Of course, again, that's getting kind of fancy, but not something everyone needs to get into. But yeah, I'd say altogether we probably had 4 or 5 different camera angles that we then took all those video clips and layered them, and then we did the video editing to cut from one angle to another angle to another angle. So we'll get more in depth on that, but in short, all we're doing is we're taking all these video clips of a performance. So we'll record it, let's say like top to bottom with one camera, and then we'll change the camera to another place and we'll record it again, top to bottom, and we'll change the camera to another place, record it again. And you can do that as many times as you want. And then you've got all these different angles, and then you put all those clips into your video editing software, which again, we'll get more into on the advanced kind of stuff. And And basically all you're doing is you're telling your software, go to angle 1, now go to angle 2, now go to angle 3, and it splices the video so, and you know, you can piece it all together in a lot of creative ways that way.
Yeah. How long did it take for the whole editing, Joel?
I don't remember on Stomp. That one's been a little while ago. This one was not as hard as some of the ones we've done. So I would say, you know, on this particular project, it was probably at least a few hours or, you know, or so of editing. But again, we had drone footage, we had GoPro footage, we had, you know, so I also had to, you know, get all the footage put together from a variety of sources and then import it. And then, you know, and editing is one of those things where, I mean, you can spend a lot of time on it, or you can do like what we call more of a quick edit, where you just jump in and say, okay, cut here, cut here, cut here. And you're not as maybe concerned about the artistry of it. Video editing can get very time consuming if you want to really like get down to the exact frame that you want to cut to a different angle and exploring all the different angle options. So it can be, it can get kind of deep if you want it to.
Yeah, we're not going to show like super deep. We're just going to go to certain, like we'll do some color editing for you and just show you the basics of the basics. So you can get in there and produce some really cool stuff. And then from then, once you get the hang of it, then you'll want to know, like, how do I do this or that? And it'll be an easy step going to that next thing, but you do have to start with the basics.
I'll just mention too, I think you really have to think about what's the purpose of your video. Now, Stomp, like we watched it just there, that was intended for entertainment, right? It's not so much of an educational video, it's more of an entertainment video. So with anything you're creating that is intended to be entertaining to other people, you're probably going to spend more time trying to make it creative and interesting and fun. Anything that's more, let's say, education related, you know, if you're just trying to show students, hey, I'm going to show you, you know, the finger pattern on a F major scale or something like that. Well, you might not need to do any editing at all, because you're not trying to entertain as much as you are to educate. Of course, you can always be entertaining in your video too, just by, you know, Aaron sometimes just throw in little jokes or something in part of his videos, just to keep it interesting for the students, you know, and
keep them awake.
Yeah, there's no editing involved with that, you know, that's just personality, you know. And I think, you know, that's an important aspect of what we're talking about, is students aren't just watching these videos. You know, I mean, they're there to learn for sure, but you know, you as a educator have an opportunity to have a deeper influence on them, and you know, even just showing them that, hey, this doesn't have to be boring. This can be fun, and it's okay to smile and joke a little bit and learn something new.
So a couple of things before we close. I'm going to share with you one thing that Joel mentioned, and that is when you go down here to that thing, there's some tutorial videos that I show how to do. So I'm just going to show you really quickly what one of the things that you can do here. So here's a video that is more of a tutorial. We want to show a student how to do something, but do it in a very like with a really good video.
Starting with our right hand in G position, we will play G, G, then up to A, back to G. Now move up to your middle finger on B.
Okay, so you notice it's easy for a student to kind of look down at their piano and follow along with this. So that's what this video was intended to do. But you can see that there's a little bit of masking going on where you put this little box around the music to make it pretty. You can see a little background in here. So that was done in the video editing software. And you can't see the feet.
So we would call this a split screen view, where on the upper part of the screen, we're seeing the music notation, and on the lower part of the screen, we're seeing an overhead cam view of the piano keys.
Right. We'll show you how to put this together in our more advanced settings. There's another idea. This is one that I did, a very, very quick one. So I put this video together because I wanted to show people how to do this. Hi, and welcome to this course on how to read a lead sheet. A lot of people want to know, how can I make a song sound really good if I just have a melody and a chord symbol? This is called lead sheet. And what it consists of is a melody plus this little chord symbol written above, the C. And what that means is you play the melody in the right hand, and you can fill chords in that C chord, and then the left hand does a pattern based on that chord. So let me give you an example of how that works. Okay, anyway, this is a 5-minute video where I just talk about how to do some lead sheet reading. And I look back at this video and I see this chord, my headphone cord's in the bottom. I start to pick out like my keyboard's a little crooked. I can see the green outline around my face. So I'm looking at these things thinking, how can I improve this video? Do I really want to have headphones on in a video, or can I get around that? But that is something that I think is becoming very valuable for teachers, like produce better tutorial videos. Oh, I'm looking at doing that. This is one, another one that I did. I was going to do, here's an interesting idea. I wrote a song that I just wanted to show people on YouTube.
My name is Sarana, and I recommend you Simply Piano.
I'll click skip the ad. And now on this video, I did something very different. It's just playing through the sheet music so somebody can play along with me. So it shows the sheet music. And that's all it is, the whole video. So a person actually who wants to learn this piece can go back to this play thing and say, I want to learn this at half speed. And they hit the play button and it'll slow down. So there's another idea on how to do a tutorial video. There's so many different ideas that we could approach, but I wanted you to see some of them. To go back to that last video, you guys were impressed with what it looked like with those students. Josh Garner was one of those. Let's see if I can find a video called Snowflakes. So this one, Josh was one of those students that was in the band. He actually didn't do any of the video work, but he was a senior in high school and he said, hey, I want to try doing one of my own videos. So he did this video all by himself. He got his friends together to come play with him, and his sister, and the girl that he had a crush on was of course invited. And he had a friend who had never played the bass guitar before, and he said, hey, I want you to come and learn this. And so Josh did this video editing. This is all student produced, so it wasn't professionally done, just by a high schooler. So I thought that was a pretty cool student project.
So let me mention one thing about that. It may not have looked like it, but I think on that one, we may have just used one single camera for the whole thing.
That's right.
It's just that all we did is we recorded the students playing the whole song, and we took the camera and moved it around a little bit, and then we did it again, but then we moved the camera to, you know, the other side and moved it around a little bit. And you do that 3 or 4 times. You take those full length clips of the song, and now you have 4 different recordings from the same camera, but all the way through the whole song. And then you can just import that and edit it. And that's essentially all we're really doing there.
And it was completely done by students.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what students can put together.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. Not to mention the value that it gives the student. Like, yeah, they do love the projects and they want to keep learning new songs and they want to sound good. So they practice like crazy, but it also gives them video editing abilities when they go into the professional world. They've got the ability in their company, whatever they go into, to be able to help with video editing or marketing. So we give our students a big advantage when we allow them to do projects like this that will benefit them in many other areas. So I'm excited to have you guys here. We're going to show you how to do all of this and do some of these things together. This is not something you just do in 1 week. That's why we spread this over a 9-week course.
Thank you.
Next week will be fun watching your videos. So I'm excited to see what you do, and we can talk about how to improve those as we go. Does anybody have any questions before we break for the day?
Oh, take me some time to get the download and to do it right.
You got a whole week, and you can always email for help. Ask for help.
Okay.
How
This is
do you, excuse me, how do you do multiple recordings and then get them all to sync in time?
That's in week number 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The short answer to that question is it depends on what software you're going to use to edit, because each software has a little bit different way of how you do that. But the concept of syncing them together, you're on the right track. That's exactly
No, you're asking the right questions. Those
That's
are great
right.
questions. We just don't want to answer them yet.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Can
we'll
I
go
ask
ahead and
one
break.
more question?
Absolutely.
Has anyone looked into Rock Out Loud?
What is it?
It's a software program, because I'm having so much trouble with Zoom in teaching. Sometimes my student is playing and I can hear it, but she's frozen in time, or the vice versa. But Rock Out Loud was written by musicians, for musicians, and you can actually play duets. I did last week with my student in real time.
How did it work?
It worked beautifully. And I could see how in her timing that I haven't been able to work with, except, you know, just the regular how to teach rhythm. With a duet, it made all the difference in the world, because she was waiting for me and she didn't have the inner clock going.
So
And this
Josh
came out
Mills.
really well with Rock Out Loud.
Josh Mills, would that be something you could look into? Rock Out Loud and do a duet with me over online and see if there's any latency? We can tell
we can
the
try
rest of the
that.
group how it went next week.
Yep.
Okay, that'll be our assignment then. We'll check that out. Thank you so much, Nancy, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay, if that's
you,
it,
Erin. Thank you, Joel, Aaron.
Thank you.
So much.
you are very welcome. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.